What if I told you that the single biggest threat to Red Bull and Ferrari isn't another racing team, but a German car manufacturer that has never raced in Formula One before? For decades, they watched from the sidelines. They dominated Rally. They conquered Le Mans, but they ignored the biggest stage of all. Until now. As we stand here in late 2025, the pieces are finally in place. Audi hasn't just joined the grid. They have bought their way in with a billion-dollar war chest and a plan to rewrite history. But can they actually win? Or will they become the most expensive failure the sport has ever seen? To understand why Audi is here, you have to understand what is happening in 2026. Formula One is hitting the reset button. The cars you see today are changing completely. The new rules demand engines that use 100% sustainable fuel and generate 50% of their power from electricity. This is no longer just about raw speed. It is about efficiency. This rule change was the golden ticket Audi waited for. They didn't want to play catch-up with old technology. They wanted a fresh start where everyone begins at zero. By joining exactly when the rules change, Audi has a chance to leapfrog established giants like Mercedes and Ferrari. It is a gamble, but it is a calculated one. Audi didn't just start a team from scratch. That takes too long. Instead, they did something aggressive. They bought an existing team. In January 2025, Audi officially completed the 100% takeover of the Sauber Group. For years, this team raced as Alfa Romeo, and in 2025, we knew them as the Stake F1 team. But make no mistake, the Swiss team, based in Hinwil, is now German property. This move gave Audi instant infrastructure, a wind tunnel, a factory, and hundreds of experienced staff. They didn't have to build a factory. They just had to buy the keys. This saved them 5 years of development time, allowing them to focus entirely on building a winning car. Every great army needs a general, and Audi hired one of the most controversial figures in modern racing, Mattia Binotto. You remember him as the boss of Ferrari, the man who built fast cars but lost championships due to strategy errors. Audi saw something else in him. They saw a brilliant engineer. As the chief operating and chief technical officer, Binotto isn't just running the pit wall. He is building the entire machine. He knows how to build championship-winning engines. His job is to bridge the gap between the chassis team in Switzerland and the engine team in Germany. It is a massive task, but Binotto has a point to prove to the world. If Binotto is the architect, Jonathan Wheatley is the commander on the ground. For 18 years, Wheatley was the sporting director at Red Bull Racing. He was the voice on the radio, calming Max Verstappen. He was the man who turned Red Bull's pit crew into the fastest in history. In 2025, Audi poached him to be their team principal. This was a shock to the paddock. Wheatley knows exactly how a winning team operates. He brings the ruthless winning culture of Red Bull to a team that has been stuck in the midfield for a decade. His arrival in April 2025 signaled that Audi wasn't just here to participate. They were here to dominate. A new team needs a driver who can give perfect feedback, someone who understands the mechanics of the car better than anyone else. Enter Nico Hülkenberg. The German veteran has started over 200 races. He is famous for never scoring a podium, but that statistic misses the point. Nico is a development driver, a human sensor who can tell engineers exactly what the car is doing. Audi signed him early, knowing they needed his experience to develop the 2026 car. He spent the 2025 season driving the transition car, suffering through the difficult times, all to prepare for the moment the lights go out in 2026. He is the steady hand guiding the ship. Beside the veteran, you need a spark of pure speed. That is Gabriel Bortoleto. The young Brazilian set the junior categories on fire, winning Formula 3 and leading Formula 2. In late 2024, Audi made the bold call to sign him, putting him in the car for the 2025 season. He represents the future. While Nico develops the car, Gabriel is there to push it to the limit. We have seen flashes of brilliance from him. During his rookie season in 2025, he is hungry, he is fast, and he carries the hopes of Brazil on his shoulders. Audi is betting that by 2027 or 2028, this kid will be a world champion. The heart of the beast is being built in Neuburg, Germany. This is a source of massive pride. For the first time in over a decade, a Formula One engine is being built on German soil. Mercedes builds their engines in England. Red Bull builds theirs in England. But Audi insisted on doing it at home. They've hired over 400 people specifically for this project. The facility is state-of-the-art, with test benches running 24/7. However, rumors have circulated throughout 2025. Building a complex hybrid engine from scratch is incredibly difficult. Mattia Binotto has even admitted they might not have the best engine on day one. It is a race against time. To understand if Audi can succeed, look at their past. In the 1980s, rallying was dominated by two-wheel drive cars. Audi introduced Quattro, all-wheel drive. Everyone laughed. They said it was too heavy and too complex. Then, Audi started winning. They didn't just win, they destroyed the competition. They changed the sport so fundamentally that today, every rally car uses the technology Audi pioneered. They are not a company that follows trends, they set them. This DNA of innovation is exactly what they are bringing to Formula One. They are looking for the next Quattro moment, a technical advantage that no one else sees coming. It wasn't just rally. In the early 2000s, Audi went to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. They won 13 times in 15 years. That is dominance. But how they did it is what matters for Formula One. They were the first to win with a diesel engine. They were pioneers in hybrid technology with the R18 e-tron. Le Mans is all about efficiency and reliability. Exactly what the new 2026 F1 rules require. No other manufacturer on the current grid has as much experience combining electric power with endurance racing as Audi. This is their home turf. They know how to make energy last longer than anyone else. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: money. Formula One is expensive. But Audi is part of the Volkswagen Group, one of the largest car manufacturers on the planet. They have pockets deeper than almost anyone else. While there is a budget cap in F1 now, the initial setup costs, building the factory, the wind tunnel, the simulators, are massive investments that Audi has happily paid. They invested over 600 million euros just to buy the team. This financial security means the engineers don't have to cut corners. If they need a new tool, they get it. In a sport where money equals speed, Audi is starting with a full tank. The road to 2026 hasn't been smooth. The 2025 season was a strange limbo. The team was officially owned by Audi, but it still raced as stake F1 team. The performance was lacking. They spent most of the year at the back of the grid. But this was part of the plan. You see, you cannot fix a Formula One team overnight. Audi deliberately sacrificed short-term results to build for the future. Every dollar spent on the 2025 car was a dollar not spent on 2026. So they chose to suffer now to win later. It was painful to watch, but it was a necessary discipline. In November 2025, we got our first real taste. Audi unveiled the R26 concept. It wasn't the final race car, but it was a statement. The livery was striking, classic Audi silver, red, and black. It looked aggressive. It looks like a winner. More importantly, it showed the world that this is real. For years, Audi's entry was just paperwork and rumors. Seeing the car, even just a concept, made the paddock nervous. It was a physical warning to Mercedes and Red Bull. The rings are coming. The design philosophy is aerodynamic efficiency above all else, hinting at the monster engine they are trying to hide underneath. However, history is also full of warnings. Audi isn't the first giant to try this. In the 2000s, Toyota spent billions of dollars on Formula One. They built a huge factory, hired the best people, and had unlimited budget. The result? They never won a single race. Not one. Corporate bureaucracy killed them. They were too slow to make decisions. The fear is that Audi could fall into the same trap. Can a giant German corporation react fast enough to beat a nimble racing team like McLaren? Mattia Binotto's biggest job isn't building the car. It is cutting through the red tape to keep the team agile. Audi is trying to lower the pressure. They have been very honest. They have said, do not expect us to win in Australia 2026. They know that even with all their money, experience takes time to acquire. The goal is to be competitive in 2026, fight for podiums in 2027, and win the championship by 2028. It is a 3-year plan. This patience is rare in modern sports. Usually, sponsors demand instant success. But because Audi owns the team, they answer only to themselves. They have the luxury of time, but the clock is ticking. The fans will only be patient for so long. So, why does Audi's entry change racing forever? Because it signals the end of the privateer era. Formula One is now a battle of industrial giants. With Audi joining Mercedes, Ferrari, Alpine, and Honda, the grid is packed with the world's biggest car companies. It elevates the sport to a new level of global relevance. If Audi succeeds, they prove that the new, sustainable rules work. If they fail, it could scare other manufacturers away for decades. The stakes couldn't be higher. The engine is built. The drivers are ready. The waiting is over. In just a few months, the red lights will go out, and we will finally see if the German giant can dance. Audi has risked its reputation, billions of dollars, and its legacy on this project. They have assembled a dream team of leaders and drivers. They have the technology. But in Formula One, there are no guarantees. The only truth is found on the stopwatch. Audi is coming, and Formula One will never be the same again.